Welcome to episode 6, the first step in being successful. This is the first step. We're going to jump into it. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to break it down, and hopefully you'll find some nuggets in there that you can use in your first step to being successful. Now, there were 3 professors of some notable universities, and a lot of universities have subsidiaries that are nonprofit organizations. So these professors working on behalf of those nonprofit organizations got together and did a study on self-assessment. And what they found is that most people have a poor assessment of themselves. So what they did is they asked us a ton of questions on a form, and people had to fill it out based on their assessments of themselves, the way they saw themselves. And they found that more people than not thought they were capable of things that they could not do. Is that amazing or what? Yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. And then we actually put them to the test. They could not do it. Poor self-assessment. And they found one of the reasons that people have a poor assessment of themselves is because of the people in their surroundings. People in their surroundings are not telling them the truth about themselves. So aside from you not seeing yourself properly, the people around you are not telling you, you know what, that's a bad idea. Or, you know what, you're really not great at doing that, man. Or maybe you shouldn't be wearing that. Or those spandex are not for everybody, even though they come in your size. People need to tell you the truth, but sometimes you make it difficult. Because we're kind of built in a way where we don't like to hear the truth about ourselves if it's not something that's a compliment. If you're complimenting me, you can tell me that all day. But tell me my breath stinks. Tell me my attitude needs working on, and all of a sudden you're my enemy. We have to make it easy for people to tell us the truth. And if your life is founded on truth, then you can take these you can kind of process people giving you this kind of insight. It doesn't hurt you. A foolish person doesn't want to be told the truth. They want to be lied to and live in this false bubble. An honest person, someone who's thinking correctly, wants to be told the truth. It may make them feel uncomfortable, but they know in the long run they'll be better for it. And when you're living on this truth, you're surrounded by people that tell you the truth, you can make a better self-assessment. And the basis of your assessment has to be truth. If you assess yourself based on what you think of you, you'll always be okay. Oh, you have a couple of things to be worked on, but you're not worse than that guy over there. When your assessment tools are off, then you can't get a true assessment. You need the truth, the absolute truth. And truth is based on those kind of those principles we talked about before: honesty and consistency. And these really good principles, when you line yourself up against those things, it shows you the truth of who you are, and you can make a truthful assessment. More importantly, once you have the assessment, you can make the changes that's necessary. Imagine going to the doctor, and the doctor asks you what's wrong with you. And because you have a poor assessment of yourself, you tell him everything's fine, everything's good. He's watching snot run out your nose, wax drip out your ears, you're coughing every 5 seconds, your eyes are red. And because of your assessment of yourself, you're telling the one person that can help you nothing's wrong. So you can't really truly get the help you need because your assessment's getting in the way. So if you want to get what you need, you want to make the changes that's necessary, you need a truthful assessment. So surround yourself with honest people that's going to tell you the truth. You don't want people that's just going to yes you to death. It's all good, it's all right, don't worry about it. Nah, you want somebody to tell you when you're doing wrong so you can make that change. So the first step in being successful is having a good self-assessment, having a self-examination. There's a term called probing questions. These are questions you ask yourself, and if you're honest, you get to the root of who you are. You'll find out what's wrong with you, you'll find out what's right with you. And the things that are wrong, you want to start killing those things off. And the things that are right, you want to double down on those things, but you won't know what they are without a true assessment. That's why you need value navigation. I mentioned that in the previous episode. You need these values and principles that's going to help you get you where you're going in life the right way. It's going to help you to see yourself the right way, to see the truth about you. And the truth about you is you can make it. The truth about you is that you are stronger since that last situation. The truth about you is that the last couple things that you went through that you felt made you weak, made you stronger. You just got to change your perception. That's the only thing that has to change. You can't rewrite the past. Every successful person that has a story, every gazillionaire, when they tell their stories about the hard times, I'm not talking about those who were born with a spoon in their mouth. I'm talking about those who made their money from the dirt. The best part of this story, the reason people pay tons of money to go hear them and buy their books is because they want to hear about the time when things were broken. Now, for somebody else, the things that are broken makes them feel like nothing else will be right. So they never even venture into deep water, into great things because of their past. But the guy that you love, the girl that you love, the reason you love her story is because she took her turmoil, her addiction, her abuse, and turned it into a success story. What's the difference between them and you? Absolutely nothing. Perspective. Change your perspective. And the way to do that is first have a true assessment of you. What needs to change? Who in your environment needs to change? Get the frenemies out of there. I'm not going to dig into frenemies too deep, but my definition of a frenemy is not someone who acts like a friend who's really an enemy. No, that's easy. You can see that person coming. My definition of a frenemy is someone who you love. You give your last dollar to, you break your last Dorito in half and give it to them because you love them. They've been there for you. But their actions, their behavior, the things they say and they do, those things are the enemy of your future. So you'll never get to your destination hanging around that person. They're not really trying to hurt you, but their lifestyle and their behavior is the enemy of your future. That's a frenemy. So you got to remove all these things that's in your path that creates a problem with you really seeing who you are, with you really assessing yourself. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. That's deep. Basically, he's saying, I wouldn't want to live if I couldn't examine myself, because that'd be like walking through life blind. And not even blind, because even blind people, they can assess the situation based on hearing. Their hearing becomes intensified. They can hear things you can't hear. So even without sight, a blind person still has an idea of what's going on. They know certain level of truth. So you have to be able to examine yourself. That's the first step in being successful. I don't care how good you play ball. I don't care what kind of business acumen you have. I don't care how smart you are, how good you are on the instrument. I don't care what any of those things are. If you can't assess yourself and see the truth of who you are, you'll always have a ceiling on how high you can go. That's the truth of the matter. I'm going to nip it right there in the bud. I am having such a great time speaking with you guys, and I can't wait to start bringing guests on. We're going to have a couple more episodes with just me and you, and then after that, I'm bringing out the big guns. I'm bringing everybody. It's going to be serious business. Stay tuned. Reach for the highest good because it's attainable. I'm going to tear up this coffee. See you soon.